Apple could learn a lesson or two from Google for its next iOS update. Here are the top 5 features iOS 10 should steal from Android as compiled by CNET editor Vanessa Hand-Oriana. At number 5, bilingual support. Sending messages in more than one language on iOS can be an autocorrect nightmare. Sure, you can set up keyboards in different languages, but you'll have to remember to switch manually every time you start a conversation. And with Siri, even a foreign-sounding street name is subject to interpretation. When it comes to voice recognition, there is no match for Google Now. Number 4, better control center. Apple borrowed this idea from Android a few years ago, but it's still not up to snuff. For starters, even though it's called Control Center, you pretty much have no control as to what shows up in this section unless you jailbreak your phone. On Android, you can have up to 2 pages of shortcuts and even long press on icons to give you more options. At number 3, multiple user accounts. People's phones and tablets are becoming their real personal computers. The problem comes in when you want to loan your Apple device to someone else. You have to really trust them not to mess around on your iPhone or iPad. Android has had multiple user support since Lollipop, which was back in 2014. Maybe Apple can even tie in Touch ID to multiple user support. At number 2, changing default apps. Apple has a death grip on what apps can be launched by default. Over on Android, you can select any browser, any Maps app, or even any launcher as your default one. It'd be amazing if I could click an address link in Safari and it would take me to the Google Maps app. And Apple, don't worry, if your apps are the best, people will gladly use them. At number 1, instant apps. Google recently announced its new instant app feature, which lets you use an app without actually installing it on your phone. You're probably thinking, wait, I could just download the app. What's the big deal? Well, what if you have a 16 gigabyte iPhone and you're running out of room? Also, some apps are really useful for a certain time period, but don't really need to live on your phone all the time. Do you always need that parking meter app when you rarely drive? No. The answer is no. Get out of here. Remember, good artists copy, great artists steal, like the great Ricky Henderson. As for what Android can learn from iOS, we'll cover that in the future. I'm Ayaz Akhtar, and I'll see you online.